Hi everybody, it's Dr. First. I wanted to explain a little bit more about the next essay or the next project called End of Disruption. First of all, in Blackboard it's in the Short Projects folder. And you'll see it there, and there's three files. One is an unfinished model. One is the project itself, basically the assignment file, and then the sample quotes. And then you'll also need two other links open because those are your main sources. But long story short, let's just start with the assignment file. So it says End of Disruption Short Project. All right, so this one is a little bit longer, a little more complicated than other ones we've done because you're dealing with two kind of competing points of view. The first is this guy named Eric Schmidt, this guy right here, and he's currently the CEO of Google Alphabet. And last year he came to ASU and gave a talk about disruption and why he thinks disruption is so great and it's going to keep going on and we should all welcome it. On the other side is this guy, Jonathan Taplin. Let me show you a picture of him. They kind of look alike. That's Jonathan Taplin, and he's a former music producer and also movie producer, lives in Los Angeles. And last year he wrote this book called Move Fast and Break Things. And that's a slogan supposedly from Facebook that none other than Mark Zuckerberg said. If you're not moving fast and breaking things, you're not working hard enough. So Taplin is opposed to disruption. Eric Schmidt, CEO of Google, is for it. So I want you to read through the entire background, and you'll take the time to read through it. And then basically you are deciding, as it says in the prompt, who is right. Is Schmidt right, Eric Schmidt, or is it Jonathan Taplin? Is disruption really still the leading edge of business innovation, which is what Schmidt believes, or has disruption of the business model merely caused a new power structure, in other words, a new oligarchy, and that's what Taplin believes. In other words, is disruption still going on, or is this now the age of the new oligarchy? Here are the directions for writing, and then the essay ends up just being a 4-paragraph essay with an introduction which gives a clear definition of what disruption is. Paragraph 2 talks about, lets Eric Schmidt have his say. Paragraph 3 is Jonathan Taplin. And paragraph 4 makes a conclusion and a prediction. And it also connects to one final little postscript, which is a fairly recent news article that Google Alphabet is actually being sued by one of its former employees, and you'll read a little bit more about that in this link. Okay, so let's take a look at the sources. Here's the Move Fast and Break Things book. All you have to do is click on the Look Inside feature, and just all I'm asking you to do is just read maybe 10 pages of it at the most would be enough, and you'll get the idea. Oh, there's the Zuckerberg quote. Oh well, it just X'd out on me, and it's randomized, so you're not everybody's going to get the same pages, but you'll get the idea. So again, just read a little bit of this. It's free, and just familiarize yourself with what Jonathan Taplin is talking about, and in particular, this idea that the web has become critical to all of our lives, yet the decisions on how it was designed have never been voted on by anyone. And he says that those decisions were made by engineers and executives at Google, Facebook, and Amazon. So it's kind of ironic that we're reading his book on Amazon, but he really hates Amazon. All right, so that's the one source, and then the other one is, let me see if I can get this open. This is the ASU Now story. And this is the Eric Schmidt side of the disruption argument. And this is quite a bit shorter. It's really interesting. A lot of direct quotes from Eric Schmidt. And again, he thinks that disruption is the best thing ever. Okay, so that's those are the sources. And then you do have to quote and cite once. Sorry. So let me just show you the last file. These are some sample quotes. You don't have to use any of these, but if you want to, you can. So here's some really important things that Taplin talks about. So for instance, Google's market share was 35%. Today it's at 88%. That's why he calls it oligarchy. Oligarchy essentially meaning like a monopoly. Here's another one about the change in tech sectors. So this is what tech was, where tech was in 2006. 10 years later, the top 6 grossing companies in the world are all tech companies. And then those are quotes all from Taplin. And there's even a quote within a quote from Schmidt. And then here are some quotes from Eric Schmidt. When you talk about Eric Schmidt or write about Eric Schmidt, you have to say he was quoted in Scott Seckel because he's the one who actually wrote that article on ASU Now. And I gave you an example of how to do that. So according to Eric Schmidt, blah, 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 quoted in Seckel. Okay, so I have the raw material, then the formatted version, the raw material. So again, you're welcome to use these if you want. They're ready to go. If not, use whatever you like. But you do need to quote and cite at least once from Taplin and one from Eric Schmidt in Scott Seckel. Okay, thanks everybody. Good luck with this.